Welcome. This is ActiveSpirituality.life. It is a weekly forecast program with astrology and a guided meditation activation to help you make the most of your week. It's run by Pamela Cucinell, that's me, the astrologer, and Susie Mazzoli, Master Healer. We invite you to find out more about our individual work. Susie Mazzoli, susiemazzoli-healer.com, or insightoasis.com for astrology. You can also find both of us at activespirituality.life, and we look forward to your joining us every week. Please share with your friends. Here we go.
Welcome, everybody, to week 4 of 2022. Pam's going to let us know about Monday, the 24th of January, and then I'll be back for our meditation. What's in store for week number 4?
Yes, week number 4. So we are in the waning moon cycle. We had that full moon last week, and I talked about some challenges that we had, especially in the later part of the week. So as we do Monday, the 24th, many of us may feel that kind of what's the word I want? Tension, having to push through mud, blocks, some of the blocks created by people in our life, the powers that be, struggles that seem to be against the man, but also some of these things may be happening within us, depending on our personal configurations and what the lessons of these planetary transits are for us personally. So especially anyone who has strong signatures in cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Capricorn, Libra, you may be feeling this is a particularly challenging day. Doesn't mean we all get out of jail free if we don't have that. It just means that for some of us, this is personal. For others, it just seems like, why is this so challenging today? Or why is my boss so strung out? Mars enters Capricorn, actually at 7:53 a.m. Eastern Time. All the times I give her Eastern Time, so please adjust depending on where you are on the planet. And when Mars enters the sign of Capricorn, where it will be for a bit of time, the other thing to keep in mind is Mars does go retrograde this year. So the travel of Mars is actually rather impactful for 2022. In general, where Mars is something we take note of, but Mars's orbit is 2.5 years. So it basically, for those who are Aries or Scorpios or have strong aspects in either of those signs or strongly aspected Mars, where the planet Mars is definitely is something you want to be paying attention to. For the rest of us, where Mars is it basically is showing what part of our life is getting the action. Where are we feeling the drive? Where are we feeling the momentum? How are we booking or not booking forward? At this point in time, with Mars in the sign of Capricorn, where it will be for, I'm just checking my notes as I'm talking, where it will be until the beginning of March, this is an excellent time to be putting into action things that you are building towards. Again, as I said, today is not the easiest day in the world, but some of us may notice, this is something I really want to focus and put energy into. And these are all the things in front of me, all the blockades or reasons why it's going to be challenging to do. So the positive of when we have a challenging day is it can really show us where the snares are. And in the case of something that you want to take action in, keep in mind We're in the waning moon cycle. Venus is retrograde. Mercury is retrograde. So this is not an ideal time to take action at all, but it is over the next week or so a good time to focus on what is it that I want to be building towards and focused on where I'm putting a lot of my energy as this year moves out. And Susie and I will be talking about this next week. The new moon happens next week. And so that'll be a really good time over the next weeks ahead for us to focus on the energy of the lunar year tiger. So we'll talk about that later. But so this week is great to think about what is it that I need to do to prepare better for like the bigger thrust or the thing I'm really aiming towards, or if there's been something that you've been working on for a time, education, a long-term project. This is a great time to reassess what is in my way with this. What do I need to modify a bit in order to increase flow, increase ability to get it done, especially when we get to the energy of the next lunar cycle. So the moon goes void, of course, at 5:10 p.m. and late afternoon, early evening may be when the real tension or power struggle kind of eats away at us. It's really great if you have some sort of regular exercise program, breathing meditation, martial art that you do to work on expending energy so that basically you don't get in any self-defeating, like bite yourself in the foot sort of thing going on today. And if you don't have time for it in the actual workday frame, just aim towards how you're going to decompress in the evening. Because sometimes what happens is we get so fraught with whatever's going on with the day that then when our evening or time to break away happens, we don't necessarily make the healthiest decisions for how we're going to expend the energy that's been kind of possibly even imploding, and that's never good. So once the moon goes void, of course, it's an excellent time to work on anything that modifies or balances breath. And ideally, any exercise, martial art, meditation is going to help you calm the breath, really get a handle on your personal space and open up the spirit energy within, because that's a wonderful way to recharge Monday evening. The moon enters Scorpio at 10:57 p.m., sets up a really good evening for deep healing sleep. And I encourage getting to bed on the relatively early side, working in a way which really helps your body recharge. If you're more of a night person, then this evening can be really deep for research or any kind of work that really requires digging or focus. Excellent for that. That's true on Tuesday, the 25th as well. A good day to focus. The morning may feel a little kind of, where do I put my energy and decisions? But if you have a good to-do list or map of what's happening for that day, absolutely excellent day for refining, for researching, for digging up information, for, as an old friend of mine used to say, finding things that have fallen through the cracks. Excellent day for that. There can be a surprise, upset, unexpected thing that happens as we get into the afternoon, early evening this is not necessarily bad at all, but if it derails or sets up a new situation for you or a turn of events, then it's okay to move into it if it feels like it's time to sink into that perspective. The moon in Scorpio is a fixed sign, water sign. And once again, depending on where that's moving in your personal horoscope or what it's triggering for you, sometimes we can get very attached to something, even though it's been revealed to us, this is a new spin on it. So just reflect on that. Keep that in mind. Okay, maybe you have been working on a certain thing to a certain point. And this is what's really interesting in projects, especially creative projects. We can be spending a lot of energy time on one way of thinking, and then something is revealed or comes up, or it's as though from what we've been digging into, we invite in or tease out something new. And there can be hesitation with saying, why would I scuttle this whole way of working just because this other thing has been presented to me, which is exciting, but I've been investing so much energy on this. The thing is that it's not necessarily that the new tangent is going to take as much time as what you'd already invested and built on, because what's happening energetically is because you've done whatever it was you were investing in, that's why the new tangent or fork in the road was revealed. And the time it takes to travel in that direction isn't necessarily going to be what you've already done. It's taking the information you've already gleaned from whatever the first leg was and having the confidence to move into the next. You don't necessarily have to do that. Take that fork or the tangent. But you do want to know why you may not, or you may. And the ability to be with the option and not immediately close the door on it or immediately run through the door in the other case is what's really important, since Mercury's retrograde, asking us to really reflect on how we react and if the course information is giving us what we really need, or if it's just a distraction or a delay. No right answer, but it's up to you to sift through and come to the conclusion. Overall, Tuesday is really a good day for those of us who do take responsibility, look at what we're doing, weigh sides, and if we decide to take that fork in the road, we're crystal clear about why we're doing it. So Wednesday the 26th has really good momentum energy as well. Doesn't have, whatever was decided or we're going at, that happened the day before or that evening or in the wee hours of the morning. But whatever we're focused on or doing on this day, especially when we get into past noontime, is really high opportunity time. Yes, Mercury and Venus are retrograde. Yes, the moon is in the waning cycle, but nonetheless, it's still incredibly productive, energetic day. And that basically rides through into the 27th. So on the 27th, the moon goes void, of course, just after midnight, so the wee hours, 12:28 a.m., and it's void until 2:34 a.m. Eastern time. A lot of people are going to be sleeping. But once it's entered the sign of Sagittarius, now we're in a not necessarily easy groove day, but we're moving, where the sun is in the sign of Aquarius, the moon is in the sign of Sagittarius, and so this is a fast moving, moving on our feet, going for what interests us kind of day. Fire signs, air signs, really going to be clicking along. High productivity. Now, it's important to think in terms of, how to say this, to think in terms of not necessarily being led by or captivated by the fantastic. And what I mean by that is that Sagittarius is a very exuberant sign, which is amazing and wonderful and highly stimulating. The piece to be aware of, and this leads into the 28th, Friday as well, is that you want to be very grounded with decisions that come up, especially anything that may be like, hey, look at that glittering object. Let me run towards that. Or if you're feeling a sense of confusion, like that idea of, wow, I was really going for this, I can't seem to get in touch with, or it's not panning out as I intended. It's really important that you go into check in with self. I know Susie and I talk about this a lot, but when we're confused, there's a lot of noise, a lot of messages, or just a feeling that something is not as it should be, it's important to sink in to, okay, do I have my seatbelt on? Is there enough food and water in the car for the journey? Do I know where I'm going? Are my electronics charged? Is everything as it needs to be as I'm going into something that feels a bit unknown? And so if you're doing anything or in conversations that feel as though you're not sure where to step next, or things seem a little foggy in front of you, it's totally okay to step back a little and give yourself space. Now, there are times when we have to make fast decisions, or we're not necessarily absolutely sure what outcome may be. Again, that's why it's so important to check in with self and be certain as you can be that this feels right to you, whatever you're deciding to do. At 2 p.m. Eastern time, the moon goes void, of course, and it's void through until Saturday at 4:09 a.m. when it enters Capricorn. So that gives us basically mid-afternoon, all of the evening, with the void, of course, moon in the sign of Sagittarius. Now, this is very boisterous. And what I mean by that is the moon in Sag, void, of course, is like, oh God, it's like my dog running down the street without a leash on. It's just this kind of exuberance that wants to go, where it smells, it wants to go. And that's not bad as long as you know who's on the street and you can protect that kind of energy. So what I recommend with Void of Course and Moon and Sag is exercise that your body is used to. Be out of doors. Nature, cannot stress enough how wonderful nature is. Of course, winter, if you're in the Northeast, may not be something you want to do. So then it might be spending time studying or reading something that really interests you, watching a foreign movie, working on a language that you're learning. All those things are wonderful to do with a Void of Course Sag moon. Once the moon is in Capricorn, when we're at Saturday, the 29th, and I'm checking my notes. No, that is right. Okay. So the 29th and Sunday, the 30th, the moon is in the sign of Capricorn, and it's very powerfully aspected. The other thing that happens is Venus goes direct. She goes direct at 3:46 a.m. on Saturday in the wee hours. Now, Venus direct, and I'm pretty sure I did talk about this Venus retrograde, Venus direct, but Venus went retrograde with Pluto. So when she went retrograde, she was conjunct the sign of Pluto. So now she's going direct, and she will eventually be moving towards that Pluto conjunction again. So with Venus going direct with the moon in the sign of Pluto, this may be a weekend when you reflect on or revisit whatever may have been going on for you at the end of last year. Things that had to do with what do I value? What do I care about? What relationships are meaningful to me? How am I communicating effectively with the people I love? What am I investing in that has the long-term return? And when I think about investments, yes, I talk about money. I talk about our financial health, but also your biggest investment, your most valuable possession is your physical body, because this is the vessel through which we channel and manifest in this lifetime, in this world. So it's a wonderful weekend to pay homage, appreciation to your body, to recognize its value, to thank it. If you have any physical issues, it's a really excellent time for you to still focus on what you appreciate on your body instead of the negatives with it. On Sunday, the 30th, keep in mind there's a Sun-Uranus picture in the sky, which is rather volatile, which means that things can pop up, maybe on world news, can be in the course of events or your day, especially if you have strong fixed planets, Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, or Scorpio. It may well be that the planet Uranus is somehow engaged with your personal horoscope at this time, which means that you may feel a lot as though your life is in flux and change. But overall, this is a terrific weekend, I believe, to ground yourself in what you care most about. And now I turn it over to Susie.
Thank you so much. And let's ground down to what we care most about. So I invite everyone, take a place where you can sit nice and quietly just for 10 minutes and sit with a nice straight back, close your eyes, take a few deep breaths. And as we just begin to settle in to our physical body, And just feel your body a little bit. Just most of the time we're so busy we're not really feeling our body, or sometimes we're perhaps feeling it too much if we have something going on or if we're in pain. So just take a few minutes to just check in and notice what you're feeling, and almost feel yourself like pushing down into your body so that you're allowing yourself to really feel the gravity, the weight, the heaviness of your body, whether you're heavier or lighter, just feeling the weight of your body. And as you feel that, just start to really emphasize it, make it more. And what we're doing is we're really accentuating the manifesting current. Just take a few deeper breaths here and just enjoy feeling heavy for a few moments. The solidness of our body, feeling our physical boundaries of our body, and just notice where in your body you feel heavier or lighter. See if you can just balance out the feeling throughout your body. And just let the weight pull you down, pull you in. And this act of grounding can be very helpful, really, any time of day when we're feeling overwhelmed or we're a little bit worried or panicked or concerned about something, just to bring all the attention into the body and feel like you're bringing in all of your tentacles, like you're pulling in all of the energy, like all of your thoughts, all of your plans. Just pull everything back to center. Because most of the time we are spending a lot of our energy projecting into the future, concerned about the future or having some sort of worry about the future, planning, or we spend a lot of time in our past regretting or going over things. So just see how much you can energetically pull everything into the present. And as you're pulling it into the present, just feel everything energetically turning into form, into what we call 3D, into the physical manifestation of your life. Everything pulling in, concentrating in, focusing in, and then spreading that energy throughout the body. So spreading the weight, the heaviness, that intensity of the physical form, and just feel it spread out through your toes, your feet, your legs, your upper legs, which are the strongest part of your body, up into the tail, the pelvis, up into the torso, all those big organs inside you, up into your neck, your head, down through your shoulders, down into your arms, all the way to your wrists, hands, and fingers. Everything vibrating with life. Everything nice and heavy and solid. And feel yourself contained. Self-contained right now, just for a few moments. Just experience this idea of being a solid, self-contained unit of energy. Just for a few moments, just feel yourself now that this is the container of your being, the container of your life, your memories, your aspirations, your intentions. Just feel this container as the holder of you, of your personality, of everything that is you. Contained, deliberate, with intention, solid and grounded. And with all of this intention, it's a very powerful, strong being. And feel now the strength of your solidity. Feel the power of being here in physical form. And as you're feeling all of this heaviness now, all of this deeply grounded, centered energy, just take a few deeper breaths. Thank you, body. Thank you, exquisite body. Thank you. Thank you, bones, flesh, fat. Thank you. Organs, blood, lymph. Thank you. Thank you to my body. And now from this place of absolute strength, from this place of groundedness, visualize a beautiful green light at your heart center, a ball of green light. And then see this green light, which is like the color of a leaf, alive, happy in the sun. See this green light now expanding throughout all of your body, throughout every single cell, bringing the lightness of being, the absolute magic of life, and just lightening up now all of your body with this very clear green light of life energy. And see yourself now as this beautiful ball of growing, green, glowing light. The symbol, the energy of growing, of growth. Growing from a place of solidness, of groundedness, actually of gratitude. And from this place now, see this green light growing out and around you, creating a ball of light, of growth. Growth from a place of deep, solid, focused groundedness. And you allow yourself to be filled with this green light of life. And gently seeing this green light reaching out past you into the world around you. Gently taking a few deeper breaths, and as you're ready, gently opening your eyes. Focused, grounded, full of life, ready for growth and transformation. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Please join us again next week. Tell your friends, share the podcast, and share the love. Love now. Thanks so much, everyone. Thanks, Pam. See you soon.
You have been listening to Susie Mazzoli and Pamela Cucinell of ActiveSpirituality.life. If you've enjoyed this program, consider a donation. You can find the link for that, ActiveSpirituality.life. Regardless, we look forward to having you join us again for next week's podcast. Please share and have a great week.